Hey guys, Andy Harwood here from the Vaz+Harwood team, and this is a quick high-level video to help you understand home inspections. How do home inspections work? What do they look for? What's kind of the scope of it? Where does this fit in the process? And actually, let's start with that. So we've been doing showings, we've walked into a house, you've made an offer, got it accepted, and this is also wonderful and exciting. Now, when everything is signed, fully signed on the offer, that's called final acceptance. And when we have that, that's going to start the home inspection contingency period, which is somewhere between 5 to 7 days typically. Might be shorter, might be longer, probably in that ballpark. So if the offer was signed today and everything's signed, now the inspection contingency period is going to start tomorrow, if that makes sense. We're also going to request the earnest money, and that's going to get held in escrow. Now, I want to say at the outset here, if you need to cancel for any reason during the home inspection contingency period, we can have you sign a cancellation, we can get you out of it. That's what this period is for, is if you need to cancel. And I'm not going to get into too much of the details on that because it can be very different for different situations. But just understand this home inspection contingency period is your chance to make sure that you're happy with the house and want to move forward. Okay, so we're going to send you our recommendation for a home inspection company. You can use anyone that you want to. You do not have to use the one that we send. We have some great home inspectors who our customers have been very, very happy with. So we make those referrals. And you're going to book your time with the inspector. This is your inspection, not ours. So please understand, we want you to make sure that you're getting the house checked out and that you're talking to the home inspector and that you're understanding all this straight from the home inspector. So you're going to book a time that works for you. We would recommend the earliest time possible so that we have as much time on the front end as we can have. And then the home inspection time is going to be about 4 hours. You're not going to be there for the whole thing. You'll be there for the last hour. They want you to come at the last hour, 45 minutes, something in that range, so that the home inspector can go over the house with you after they've done the inspection. And we are not going to be there in most cases because we want you to just be there with the home inspector and focus on that without the realtors present. So after the home inspection is done, you're going to get the report and we're going to get the report, and we're going to have a chance to review it and go over it with you and then talk about what to do next. Now, I want you to understand that the home inspection is for 3 purposes. It's to understand the house. It's so that you understand where the water shutoff is and, how to turn off the hose thing in the winter, so the pipes don't crack if you need to do that. And understand just where everything is in the house, okay? And the other thing is to understand if there are any big ticket items that have to be addressed. Like, is there anything that's going to be a deal breaker? If there are health and safety related things or broken things that were a surprise that are going to cost you a significant amount of money, we may be able to negotiate something for those things, and we will if we can. Now, if they've got 10 other offers that are waiting for them and they picked our offer, we might not have the leverage to do it. We might not also have the leverage to do it if it's something where it's old but it's not broken. Sometimes there's an old water heater or something like that, and our buyer really wants the seller to replace it. You're going to think that it needs replacing, and they're going to say it's working. So we can only work with the leverage that we have, and the main leverage that we have is for you to send a cancellation. If the seller thinks that the deal's going to go belly up and they're going to get a cancellation and they don't want that, then that's their incentive to play ball with us on anything we might be able to negotiate. Okay, getting to the third thing that home inspections are for, it's to understand the overall cost of home ownership. There may be nothing wrong with the roof, but maybe the roof is uh, closer to the end of its life than the beginning of its life. And you're planning to be in the house for 20 years, so you're probably going to have to put a new roof on at some point, and it's good for you to know that going in. Um, what are some things that the home inspector checks out, and what we recommend doing as add-ons as well for the home inspection? So the home inspection, the base $600, $500, $600, $700 home inspection is going to cover all of the mechanical systems of the house. They're going to check out the roof, they're going to check out the foundation, they're going to check out the HVAC system, they're going to make sure all the windows work. Often we see windows that are painted shut and or have problems, and maybe that would affect the comfort of the house. Like, will it be comfortable in the summer if you can't open the windows? Things like that. Um, Obviously, the electrical system, we see a lot of, almost every house has some miswired plugs and things like that, or some little electrical things that shouldn't be a big deal, or those ground fault interrupter circuits that turn off the electricity if you drop the toaster in the kitchen sink, that sort of thing. Those are very important. All these safety kind of things are very important, of course. Other things that people don't realize a home inspector is going to do is they do infrared photography. So they will take pictures in infrared of the heating system working, so they can see if there's heat going to all the rooms. Does it seem like the heat is circulating with the supplies and returns properly? It's very cool to see that. And if there's a room that you don't know, you're there for half an hour at the showing when we made this offer, very nice to know that the heat system is working the way it should. Or if it's not, then we have potentially a problem. Another thing that's a little hidden that they will do on the front end, you wouldn't maybe know, is they have a moisture meter where they can go around. They go around every window, the basement, all the perimeter of things. It's non-penetrating. They don't have to punch holes in walls. It'll just tell if there's moisture there. So they can often tell if there's a moisture problem around windows or in the basement. Very, very handy. Another thing that comes up sometimes is those cracks in basement walls. Uh, there are good cracks and bad cracks. There are also settling cracks in houses that are not structural problems. They're just the house is settled and the walls cracked a little bit and it's nothing to worry about. And there are also those kind of cracks where you do have to worry, where this house has a foundation problem and is going to need a structural bracing system of some kind. And believe it or not, I've negotiated those things and I've gotten them put in houses. And then it'll probably be good for 200 years at that point. But very, very good things that home inspectors are checking out. There's a couple of add-on things that I mentioned that we highly, highly recommend. One is to do a radon test. This will be another $150, $200, something like that, to do a radon test. Why do we recommend this? Because radon is an invisible, dangerous, carcinogenic gas. It collects in basements, especially if there's a finished basement and people are going to be down there quite a bit. It's well worth it to pay for a radon test in the home inspection, along with the home inspection, because if the radon levels come back too high, we have a very good chance of being able to get a price concession for you or getting the seller to install a radon mitigation system. Radon is easily fixed and brought to a safe level. So this is a very good thing to do. The other thing we highly recommend in almost all houses is to do a sewer scope, especially old houses, because sewer problems can be very expensive. Now, the sewer scope may come back, especially in an older house, it may not come back perfect, but that's okay as long as it's acceptable and the home inspector doesn't see a bigger problem, like something that might be collapsing or might be in danger of having the sewer not work properly and could lead to a backup or that sort of thing. Sewer issues, and I've negotiated many of them in inspection. It's no fun, but it can be a thing where if you didn't know, it could be a $10,000 or more issue. Uh, there are a couple of things that are available with home inspections we usually don't recommend, but you can do them if you want to. They can do a mold test. We only usually recommend that if it's like a musty basement or you see that black area on the wall and you want to have it checked out, then you can do a mold test. There's also water tests and various other things that they can do too. So we just want you to feel comfortable that you've had the house checked out to your satisfaction, and leverage that time in the home inspection to make sure that you're confident moving forward in the transaction and that you're happy with the house. And also, please understand too that when you fall in love with a house and you make the offer and it's so excited, you get it inspected, and then it can be a little bit shocking for buyers, especially first-time home buyers, when that report comes back. You're getting a 100-page report of everything that's wrong with the house, and it can be disheartening. But please understand, we're looking for the major deal breaker items, the health and safety things that we can get, like radon system, or if there's something that's broken or a big ticket item that we didn't know about. Those are the kind of things that we have leveraged, probably, that we can help you with. All of the little things that are in a typical, especially older house, the few miswired outlets or little things like that, we're probably not going to be able to get the seller to fix everything. If you want a new construction house that has a warranty and there's going to be absolutely nothing wrong with it, that's what you need to do as new construction. Every old house is going to come back with a 100-page report of cracks and blips and electrical and plumbing and a bunch of little stuff like that. And the leverage in the real estate equation here is the health and safety things, the big ticket items, and the deal breakers. So I'm sure there's more to say about inspections, but I want to keep this video reasonably short. We are always here to help, as always. Ask us any questions, whether you're thinking about buying a house or we're in the middle of a transaction and you're watching this video. Thank you.